Well, it's not quite garden time, but I'm out here in the garden, and I thought I would let you in on what happens when your growing season is so short. Can't wait for the ground to defrost to get started. So we're going to go inside the Hidden D Manor, and I'm going to take you to a place you have not been before. We're going to go down into the grotto. Stick around. We'll talk about some seeds. Maybe more than one kind of seed. Here we go. And now we start our descent. A few more steps, and then we'll be there. Welcome to the grotto. The fire is lit, and so is my pipe. I'm Randy, Ragamuffinpiper, and yeah, we're talking about gardening while I'm sitting here underground inside on a perfectly good sunny day. What is wrong with that picture, you might say? Well, there's a good reason. Living where we live here in the north, there's just no possible way of starting seeds or even getting a garden going for a couple of months yet, at least. So the seeds are going to have to get started down here. Got a little grow light at the table, and I'm going to show you real quick what I do to get those seeds started. I'm not going to take you all the way through that process because you know what that it's like, and I'm sure there's lots of other people that do it far better and explain it with a lot more knowledge than I would. But a memory of gardening, you know, I think I developed my love for working and growing plants that I could eat the stuff off of from my dad. He really loved to do that. Mom did too. She liked berry vines and things like that, but Dad liked getting in and planting those vegetables, and I'd go out there and help him. He worked everything by hand. He didn't have power tools like I am fortunate enough to have out here. Turning the dirt over with a shovel. We talked about that before. Getting outside and working out that stress by doing some manual labor. That's he used to always tell us kids, that'll fix what ails you. And it often did. Didn't fix it, but it sure made it feel a little better because you worked hard and you got something accomplished. But one of the things my dad did that I remember to this day, I still do it, and I don't even know why. So some of you high-tech farmers and chemical specialists out there, you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit because what I'm saying may not even be a legitimate thing. But Dad, every time he would take those, now not seeds, right? Not when you're planting seeds, but when he would take a transplant, like he would get a tomato plant up and he would take it out and put it in the ground outside, he'd put about a half a tablespoon, he'd get a little spoon, and he'd bring the sugar out from the house. And he would put a little spoonful of sugar underneath the plant, and then he would plant it and mash it down. To this day, I remember that, just like it was yesterday. You know, there you go, put some sugar in there. I don't have the slightest idea what that did for the plants, but it sure stuck in my mind. I know, you know, we put eggshells in there sometimes, and there's all kinds of stuff like this. Is not a gardening channel if you're just tuning in. This is not a gardening channel. This is life lessons and memories, and sometimes a pipes channel, and you know, it's just those things that come back to you. And while I sit by the fire, that just kind of came back to me like it was yesterday. Like I said, so I'll show you down here. We keep a pantry down here. I actually have a spa down here and a lot of storage. So I'm not going to show you all the mess that we have, and we have a lot of water this time of year that comes up through the cement because we have about a 2-foot deep water table. But I'll show you part of my pipes table here, and the lighting's not real good, so I apologize for that. But I keep the pipes on the rotation there. Every time I smoke a pipe for the day, it spends at least 24 hours disassembled laying on the flat part of the table. So if you look close, you can probably see where there's a couple pipes laying there disassembled. They stay there like that for at least a day, usually two, before I reassemble them and put them in the pipe stand, the little circular stand. Most of the estate pipes I keep separate, and believe you me, that's not all the tobacco I own. I've gotten to where I don't even bring part of it downstairs, put it back in the grotto here because I'm going back and forth to the jar so much. I'm sure none of you do that, right? None of you leave little jars of tobacco out where you can get to it a little quicker and somebody says, why don't you put that stuff away? That don't happen. Well, it does. So I have a few items over here on the gardening table, and I'm going to show you, kind of what I've got going real quick like, and we'll chit-chat over there for a second. But I'm going to sit here by the fire and go retrieve my coffee so I can make a memorable event for myself right here. Stick with me. Here we go. Next scene. So it's a pretty simple setup. Just got some planters here. You can buy those at a hardware store. Some potting soil and a bunch of seeds. I keep seeds from year to year. I buy some new ones. And simple growing light up above me here, which is why the color is all different now. Got my coffee. Made me a scratch paper here so I can keep track of what I planted where, and paper will stay with it when it's here underneath it or something. And all you do is take a little bit of soil, put a little bit in first, all right? About half full. Pick out your seed. Get this about half full. Pick out your seed. Put the seed in there. Then kind of top them off. And write down what you planted so you don't forget. Some of them you can tell by looking. When you plant a seed, you can kind of tell by when it comes up that that's what you planted. You can recognize the seed that you planted. And I hope you'll stick around a little bit because I'm going to talk about that in just a second too. Maybe not with plants, but with the seeds that you can plant in somebody else. So I'm going to get on with putting my stuff in here. We're going to give it a little water, put the lid on it. There's a lid that goes on here, and we'll get our seeds started. So sometime in the next 6-8 weeks, something like that, when the warm weather kind of kicks in and we don't have no more frost on the ground, well, then we'll be able to take these outside of the garden, put them in the ground, and enjoy them all summer. But there's something even more important that comes along with planting a seed, and I hope you'll stick around for that. We're going to do that and go back to the fire right now. Glad you're here. Hang on. Well, I hope that was just a little bit of fun and maybe brought back some memories. I'm not here to teach you how to do it, that's for sure. But when you live up in the north area like this, our ground's not going to defrost. And even if it does, the nights are too cold to plant outside. I don't have a hot house or a greenhouse or whatever you want to call it, and so we start the seeds inside. And I would say, that kind of goes back to starting the seeds young in your kids and your grandkids. Sometimes the seed needs protection, and the kids growing up, you give them an idea of hard work, or you give them an idea of being truthful, or on and on. Any kind of life lesson you're trying to bring to your kids. It's something that's got to be nurtured, and it's got to be taken care of so it can take root. You don't just show them something once, and then ta-da, they automatically pick up on it and they'll stick with it the rest of their life. No, that frost in the world is going to come along and freeze them, and is going to break them. It's going to kill that sense of whatever you were trying to teach. That's good coffee. So when you're trying to plant those seeds in your grandkids, or maybe you're mentoring some young kids. Maybe you coach a softball or a baseball or basketball team. You're coaching some kids. Plant that seed well and take care of it. And that's the only way that you can get it to take root and to start to grow. You might have to put a little artificial light on it now and then to keep it going. But sooner than you think, you'll be able to take those seedlings that you've planted in those kids, those people that you're mentoring. You'll be able to go out and plant them in the garden outside where they can withstand the rain and some wind and a little bit of weather. The night will come and a little bit of cold will come, but they'll be able to withstand it because you planted a seed and you kept it growing good, planted it deep, made sure they had good roots. I think that's the moral of the story today. So, hey, little housekeeping here at the end. This is my Rattray Fachen, well, I think it's a 106 is what it is, 9mm. You've seen the pipe often. And in there, my friend Gary, Papa Bear, is just almost the very last of Burley Morning pipe. That's the jar, that's it. I got a little snag left in there. Burley Morning pipe. And Gary, I think I might have something that's awfully close. I just ordered and got some yesterday. I'm going to share it with you next time. It's pretty good. So I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Boy, somebody really wants it. I think I might have won something on eBay. I don't think so. Anyhow, that's my one for this video. Everybody have a great day. Make it the best one yet. Might even have to find you a nice place to sit by the fire, drink coffee, and enjoy a pipe. Don't that sound like a great day? This is about the best 5 minutes I've had so far. So, plant that seed deep. Nurture it, take care of it. That way you can be ready to take it out in the world and let it grow up and put off some plants and seeds of its own. This is Randy, Ragamuffinpiper. I sure appreciate you guys being here, and I hope that you'll make a comment or like or subscribe, whatever it is. There's no pressure for that. Thank you to everybody that has, and we'll see you again super soon for some fun together. Enjoy. Have a great day.